evening, and welcome back to the W Basketball Show. I'm your host, Lucas. Joining me this week is Marco. Marco, we're back.
Back again, Lucas. How are you? How's your happy long weekend?
Thank you. Happy long weekend to you too, and to all who celebrate. It is, of course, the AFL Grand Final weekend holiday. Sorry, the AFL Grand Final holiday weekend that we're speaking about. And it's the AFL Grand Final tomorrow.
Yeah.
For you and I.
And what a great way to start the W Basketball Show.
But yeah, this is cool, man. I love long weekends.
Yeah. As I explained before we started, I've wasted my entire Friday, not my entire Friday off because it's 2 p.m. as the time of recording, on trying to install a bike rack on my bike, and it just didn't happen. So that's, I wouldn't say the long weekend's off to a bad start, but maybe an unproductive start.
Yeah, or maybe a challenging start.
Challenging.
A start in
Thank
which you
you.
got to learn something.
Yeah, because every piece of adversity is an opportunity for learning. Would you agree?
None better to talk about that than the Golden State Valkyries.
Wow.
So yeah, we this is the most consistent we've been in probably over a year.
Yeah, absolutely.
With recording 2 episodes in somewhat of a relevant time frame.
Third WNBA podcast of the season.
Yeah. Pretty bad by us. Yeah, we're going to run through the playoffs so far. Sorry, get really nervous when I say that. The playoffs so far and the awards as well. Because since we last spoke, there's been so much news. So do you have anything else to lead us into this, or do you want to just start?
Just that it's been such a good play. I think this is the best playoffs in terms of quality from the first round onwards, since I've been closely following the WNBA. Like, we've had really good semis and like excellent finals, but this is like the fact that pretty much every series went the distance, 3 out of 4.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much all of them. And even that, the Lynx Valkyries series, which I suppose we could start with, still had like one super competitive game when, like, by all accounts, it should have been a blowout in both games.
Yeah, the Lynx fully had to come back in that second game to win by a point or two.
Yeah, I think they're 18 points down in the third.
Yeah. So yeah, let's start there with the 1-8 matchup in the first round. Actually, before we go on, I didn't realize, and maybe this is news to other people as well, or maybe it's just me, but first round this year is 3 best of 3, semis is best of 5, finals is best of 7. I thought the finals was best of 5 still.
Oh, yeah, I didn't realize that either.
Really snuck up on me.
That's great.
Yeah, it's
that's
really
awesome.
good.
Wow.
You can really put your feet up.
Yeah.
But yes, the 1-8 matchup in the first round, Minnesota Lynx defeated the Golden State Valkyries 2-0. I think this was probably what everyone was expecting, but I think everyone was probably expecting not 2 blowouts, but 1 blowout and 1 comfortable win for the Minnesota Lynx. And yeah, Golden State, like, what a season. What a bar setter as the first expansion team that has been introduced, and that will be introduced of 4 expansion teams over the next 5 years. What a way to start, Marco, the Golden State Valkyries season.
Yeah, 100%. Like, even this playoff result kind of would have exceeded everyone's expectations to the point that makes sense. Like, if they'd beat the Lynx in this series, you'd be like, what the fuck is going on? Like, this is kind of the best result that's like, all right, that's A++, but something completely witchy hasn't happened.
Right.
Yeah, like losing that first game in Minnesota, I feel like that was always going to happen. Not a heap of playoff experience on the Valkyries roster, and no playoff experience for the franchise versus you could say the most storied franchise in WNBA history. Like, equal most championships, have been to the finals so many times, and just like starting the beginning of another dynasty here as well, where they really should win the championship this year. So yeah, that was always going to happen. But then that game 2 being played in San Jose was not in Valhalla, where the Valkyries have kind of intimidated teams, but still with like 19,000 screaming fans. And just completely got the jump on the Lynx in the first 3 quarters, really. Like, it really took until the last quarter for the Lynx to mount mount any sort of comeback. And yeah, I think just the way they've had success all season, like sharing the ball, moving quickly. And yeah, so impressive.
Yeah, it's like an unmitigated A++. They have a distinct basketball style, like play style. That's going to be a free agent destination. If they want to trade, then I'm sure they'd have a good war chest to be able to bring in a star. But I feel like we're going to see, a star player make the move to the Golden State Valkyries like soon.
Yeah.
And that's just awesome. Like, can you believe this team isn't? Well, they'll have, what is that, pick 5 or 6 or something in the draft. But like, can you believe we aren't talking about like who the Valkyries going to draft?
Yeah,
Going into year 2, we're talking about like how can they win a playoff series?
Well, they're gonna have a top 3 prospect, so that's really gonna, they can build on that. It's like no, they're like ready to go.
Yeah,
basically.
Yeah.
And so injured as well. Like, did Tammy Fagbenle pulled out injured just before at the start of game 2? Am I correct in saying that?
I'm not sure. I'm looking at these stat lines though, and you know how.
Oh no, sorry, that was in game 1.
ESPN has those like top performers.
Yeah.
So good to see Veronica Burton as the top performer for both games, and as she was all season, and we'll get to that a little bit later.
I'm gonna redact what I said before. It was game 2. I was right
nice.
The first time.
Never second guess yourself. Any final notes before we move on? Because we actually have 5 other series to talk about.
Yeah, I think we should probably save the Lynx chat for their semis appearance because, I mean, I think I don't really know what to read into the fact that they fell behind in game 2 because, like they came home so strong that at the end of that game, like, they're going to be fine.
Yeah. Well, actually, not dissimilar to game 2 in the semis against the Phoenix Mercury. But yeah, we'll get to that after we talk about the Phoenix Mercury knocking out the New York Liberty. Bye-bye.
God.
Bye-bye, losers.
Wow.
Haha.
This feels so sweet, man.
It feels so sweet. So yeah, the Phoenix Mercury defeat the New York Liberty 2-1 in their first round series. Really, this was could have gone either way series. I think this win speaks more to both of these teams played phenomenal. And to get to the second round was like, isn't it crazy that one of these teams was never going to make it to the second round?
Yeah.
And Phoenix are fully looking like they could be winning the championship.
Yeah.
This season. But New York, they had a bit of poor health with Brianna Stewart. They're looking much more mortal. Should be mentioned that Sandy Brondello, I don't know if they parted ways or if they fired her.
I think it was a we're not going to extend your contract.
That's right.
Situation, which is the widest thing that can happen to you as a coach.
Yeah. And from what I've heard in the next chat, I think the franchise kind of didn't like her for whatever reason. They didn't give Sandy the best tools to work with. But yeah, I think, and they also Alexa Philippou from ESPN, I think, reported that it was championship or bust for Sandy Brondello this season, which is it's a pretty crazy like black and white rule to have. Like, why isn't it championship or bust on Sabrina Ionescu's defending, or like why isn't it championship or bust on something else? It's on Sandy, who won a championship last year. Yeah,
I guess. You won the championship last year. You added Natasha Cloud, and then you added MMA Smith. I've said this twice on this podcast. You added MMA Smith, mid-season. Then like that expectation makes sense. I guess if you make the finals and the refs don't hand you the championship in 2025, maybe then it's like, all right, okay. Well, Sandy, I know we said it's championship or bust, but like, we couldn't pay the refs enough to get it done for us. But yeah, first round exit and that like bad form at the end of the season. I know, again, they had injuries, but yeah, like Brianna Stewart played 35 minutes and scored 30 points in this game. Jonquel Jones, another stinky playoff performance on her resume. And MVP champion, but like this is a recurring factor in her career. In the WNBA, like 3 points, 1 of 10 from the floor is just insane. And I know, you're being, like you're going up against Alyssa Thomas, in the backcourt, and that's a really hard, that's a player who just disrupts everyone's game. Whether she's guarding you or not, like you are going to have trouble getting into your offensive groove if she's on the floor for the opposition. So yeah, I think not to sort of what's it? Not to have like a late crow, the opposite of an early crow. But like Nate Tibbetts also just outcoached Sandy Brondello in this game. Like, Sandy could not impose whatever she wanted, whatever her game plan is on this game in particular, and probably on the Liberty season more generally. Whereas, there was those last sort of 4 or 5 plays, both on offense and defense. Yeah, Nate Tibbetts just drew up perfectly. Like, I think he won it just purely on, I want to say moving the magnets because I've been watching heaps of footy, but whatever the equivalent of that is in basketball.
Yeah, drawing on the whiteboard.
Yeah, drawing on the whiteboard. Thank you.
Moving the marker. I think this is like in terms of a coaching matchup, this is kind of a nightmare for Sandy because Sandy's much more of like a game plan scout, that sort of a coach where it's like, let's implement the changes between games and then let's go out there and play. And that is stark contrast to Nate Tibbetts, who is like, let's just like everyone practice their skills and then just be ready for whatever I'm going to throw at you during the game. And yeah, he's the complete opposite. He's a mad scientist. He doesn't need to have a center on there. He doesn't need to have a point guard out on the court. He'll just run with whatever's working, and which also lends itself to playoff basketball because then you can feed the hot hand.
Yeah.
Their closing lineup, I didn't notice this until watching this game, but Sammy Whitcomb, Duana Bonner, Alyssa Thomas, Kalia Copper, Satu Sabali.
Yeah.
There's one of those is the 5th best creator.
Yeah.
There is so much offense. You're guaranteeing yourself, like, you don't even have to worry about the offensive side of the ball. Like, you're just, you're going to get a good shot. And in that fourth quarter, in game 3 of the Liberty Mercury series, the Phoenix Mercury won 19-14. Do you want to guess how many points were scored by players not named Brianna Stewart in the last quarter?
Oh, for the Liberty?
Yeah.
I want to say 2.
0.
Wow.
Yeah.
I was close.
So Stewie had all 14 points.
Oh my goodness.
She had 7 free throw attempts. And you might be thinking, that's not that bad. That's 3.5 trips to the line, probably 4. I think it was 7.
Yeah.
I think it was 3 and 1s. And then 5. Sorry.
Yeah.
My bad.
3 and 1s and 2.
It was only 5 trips to the free throw line. Brianna Stewart. And that, god damn, that whistle came out. That whistle sure did come out. But yeah, I think the Liberty roster is pretty good. I've also heard from the next beat reporter that the roster that Sandy was handed wasn't that good. What do you want? What roster that's remaining, or what roster that was in the playoffs has a better roster than you, has better pieces to move around than you? So yeah, I think Sandy's. Look, I'm not very like pro or anti the firing of Sandy, but I do see, like I can see it on both sides. And I think this is maybe a team that did need a bit of a shakeup. But in saying that, she coached so well in the 2024 season, and she had she just brought Leonie Fiebich along, and like now she's just such an established WNBA player. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what the Liberty do. I don't know if their move is just to bring in a new coach or if it's to make some add some magnets to the whiteboard. But yeah, it's. Maybe like also Shui's health doesn't help. Like she's done both of her knees now.
Yeah. I think you could bring in a new coach and win the championship so easily next year without changing a single player on the roster. I'm not saying it's like, oh, Sandy Brondello is a bad coach and that's the only reason they didn't have success this year, because like you said, Sabrina Ionescu, maybe you do need to take the next jump if you want to be one of the best players in the WNBA. John Coyle Jones, maybe shoot better than 10% from the floor in a closeout playoff game. You've been in so many before. Like, this is not a foreign experience for you. So I wouldn't be surprised. Sort of, I guess a new coach comes in, they don't change anything, they win a championship, or a new coach comes in, they shake up the roster, and then they're kind of an unknown entity. Yeah.
In saying all that, in all of that dragging of Jonquel Jones's name, she was Finals MVP last season.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's had a couple of. But I fully agree. Like, especially in Connecticut, like it was just crazy to see.
Yeah, getting benched for Breonna Jones in that who was that series against? But yeah, her last series with Connecticut. It was pretty crazy.
The Vegas Storm. Oh Jesus! The Aces Storm matchup in the first round. The Aces won 2-1. It just completely didn't even register to me when we recorded our last episode that our teams might have played each other in the first round.
Yeah.
And since then they have played each other in the first round. Aces, I think a bit of concern. Lots of reliance on Asia Wilson, as there has always been.
That's crazy. That's exactly what I wrote.
That last game, what was it, 34, whatever. I think she scored half of your points. Yeah. And that first win, I feel like I might be misremembering, but was quite comfortable. Yep.
38 of 74 points in game 3.
Yeah. And then, you guys won 102-77 in game 1. I thought that was just going to be, cut and paste for game 2 or maybe a 10-point win. But then Dominica Malonga arrives as the greatest player of all time. But yeah, what was your read on this series? What were your feelings about your team?
Yeah, I didn't, even after game 2, I didn't feel worried that we would lose the series. But you're right. There's sort of the cracks are there that, make you worry about how we're going to go for the rest of the playoffs. And again, they showed in the next series. Just that sort of complete inability to stop a run. Like when you guys got going in that fourth quarter, it's just like it's like you're just standing there. Like it's like you're not trying to do anything to stop this from happening. And then, like sometimes also that inability to get a run going in the other direction. When Asia Wilson gets taken out of the game, I think in game 2, let me just get it up. I think she went like, I think she didn't score for a quarter or something like that. And it was, maybe the last 7 minutes of the game, she just couldn't get a shot to drop.
Yeah.
And they just kept going to her and just kept not working. And so, again, if you don't have someone else who can sort of bail you out in that moment, like the peak Aces team, was just Chelsea Gray making every single contested mid-range jumper that she took, and she's just not that player anymore. So that, I think those are the sort of two key things to worry about. Also, our defense has just dropped like year on year since since our first championship. Like there's just like players not catching up on rotations, just letting the other team get the switch that they want like pretty much immediately. I think our perimeter defenders become so lazy because Asia can just stuff people. And then when you're in a playoff game, you can't just afford to let things go through to the keeper. But also, I do think to switch things around onto you, Lucas. Do you think there's enough good to take away from this series for the Seattle Storm?
Yeah, I mean, there's one great, which is that Malonga, who was kind of, I don't know, I feel like her stats kind of show, she averaged 7 points a game. I can't remember how many minutes. I think she was on like 15 minutes a game during the regular season. And it just looked like we were trying to contend, and, we just weren't really like ready to get a rookie to, be a part of that or like develop a rookie. And to be the difference in the playoff game that we won is such a good sign for Malonga. I think it's probably a really bad sign for the team as a whole. I think former coach Quinn, that's a bad sign on her. I think the roster construction just needs to be really, really looked at. Funnily enough, Agwumike was the best, front court pairing for Malonga. I feel like that's more of like an experience sort of thing, because I feel like if you were to game plan with the front court of Magbagor and Malonga, that could just be so unstoppable, especially if Malonga, she's got great hands. She's got to work on the finishing. She's also got she's enough of a good shooter that you know that's going to develop, that part of her game is going to develop. And I just feel like that would pair perfectly with Magbagor. Now, as soon as we had lost game 3, Agumake, got the team in a huddle and kind of tried to get them all together and regroup and maybe talk about the season, whatever the hell she was doing. But it seemed there was also a chat after the game between Jewel Lloyd and Ezzy Magbagor that just did not fill me with any confidence at all. And with the direction this franchise has gone since Stewie and Bird left, I just think that Magbagor will probably want to leave. I can't see her wanting to stay after that. And yeah, with the firing / and or parting ways with Noelle Quinn, I think that's a necessary move. I think she potentially wasn't the best coach for this team, for who this unit is, but I also sit on the side of Diggins and Agumage just can't be there.
Yeah.
And now that I had said previously that Williams and Magbagor, if you have those building blocks, work with them. Malonga has just fully entered that core as well. And Brittany Sykes, Erica Wheeler, Diggins, Agumake, these are all good players in a vacuum, but they have to be number 1, 2, and 3 have to be Malonga, Williams, and Magbagor, and then 4 through 8, or whatever, have to be have to fit to them rather than the other way around.
Yeah, for sure. It is worth noting that Noelle Quinn was fired while Sandy Brondelli did not have her contract extended. So
Okay.
Just something to think about. Yeah, man, I really hope you haven't alienated Magbagor because I really see her as in that post Stewie Bird era as just your best asset. And she should be she'll be Defensive Player of the Year in the right team.
Yeah, definitely. So goodbye, Seattle. And the last first round series, Atlanta and Indiana. The Dream defeated the Fever 2-1. The Fever defeated the Dream 2-1. Probably that's a massive upset. The Dream won 30 games. The Fever are missing 3 players.
Yeah. 2
of which are their star and then their 6th Player of the Year candidate. And then obviously Aussie Chloe Bibby. And who was it? They had a player that couldn't even... was it Dantas? Was it Damiris Dantas? I can't remember. But one of their players couldn't even travel with them because she suffered a concussion in the first round, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, just completely underhanded. And not to get too far ahead of ourselves, but they've won a game in the second round.
Yeah.
But this is all about the Dream. What are your thoughts and feelings about the Atlanta Dream?
I've really struggled with this one because initial instinct is this is a complete disaster because you had such a good season. It's your first opportunity to really impose yourself in the playoffs with this group. The Fever are so underhanded. This should be a walkover win. And, with the Liberty and the Mercury playing in the first round, with the Aces looking a little bit shaky, this might be your opportunity for a finals run. Considering the, everyone who's here this season is probably going to be here again next season, plus the Indiana Fever are going to have Caitlin Clark, plus, the Valkyries are going to be in whatever state they are, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So for that reason, it feels like it's just a huge missed opportunity and a huge disappointment. But on the other hand, the Fever looks so playoff ready. It's kind of terrifying.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. I never felt after... Did they win game 1? They won game 1.
The Fever, yeah.
Yeah, they won game 1. After game 1, I didn't feel like they were the underdogs anymore. I felt like they were going to win the series. And I think... Oh, no.
No, the Dream won game 1.
They won game 1. Yeah, they lost game 1. Yeah. No. In game 3, I didn't feel like the Fever were the underdogs.
Yeah.
yeah, they were playing away from home. They were playing a team with a lot more pedigree than them, but like they looked so much more organized and ready than the Dream. Again, I think Carl Smesko, Smesko or Smeshko?
I've been saying Smesko all season.
Smesko. Let's go with that. I think he got outcoached by Stephanie White in this series. It's first year coaching in the WNBA, 20 years in college basketball, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Stephanie White's been an assistant all around the league. She's been a head coach. She's been WNBA head coach of the year. So like, yeah, you're gonna lose that battle. But for that reason, I'm not going full tilt at the Dream, because like the Fever are just so sneakily more ready for this moment than is maybe apparent.
Mm-hmm. I think, overall view on the Dream season is like, again, A++. Like, I didn't think they'd be 30-14 knocking on the door of second place.
Yeah.
But I think that last point you made about Smesko and White, I think that's what was evident here. I think White outcoached Smesko and was just ready to just stay damaging through in that last quarter, especially. Like, some of the plays the Fever were running in Game 3 of the first round were just like, oh, this team is on a mission to win this game. Whereas with Atlanta, it was like, they were more trying to not lose, and like all their players they kind of went away from their strengths, and they were it felt like they were a bit too concerned with like missing rather than just taking a good shot. And I mean, look at the Dreams box score from Game 3. You get 12 points out of Breonna Jones, 16 out of Howard, 18 out of Canada, 19 out of Gray. All of those players bar Ryan Howard shot above 50%. Off the bench, Griner and Pow, they both get multiple baskets. Like, the team's looking good.
Yeah.
Shot 50% from the field, compared to Indiana's 40. And of course, Indiana had, twice as many free throws, which definitely doesn't help the Dreams playoff aspirations, or winning that game. But yeah, I'm similar to you. Like, it doesn't actually feel like a bad playoff loss anymore, but at the time it felt like pretty catastrophic.
Yeah.
But I think this is a great experience for this Dream unit, and I really hope that they stick together. Like, I really, really hope that they just keep this team together and just build on this season for next season, because Naz Hillman's still really young. Breonna Jones, relatively young.
Yeah.
Ryan Howard, still young.
Timeline's great.
Timeline's great. Like, this team really doesn't have to... they don't have to make any major moves.
No.
But in saying that, I think this season was kind of a best case scenario for them, and that next season would probably be closer to 500, but still on the positive side of that. But even still, this was an unmitigated success this year, and if you want to make a move, you can probably wait until next season to find a star that wants out.
Yeah. The moment of the series for me was Griner absolutely killing Shea Petty on a screen in Game 3. I think it was in the 11-minute YouTube highlights, even though it didn't end in a bucket. Like, she just completely, actually had her on the ground for 8 seconds.
Oh my God.
It was really... I guess that links into just bring Griner back to come off the bench for another season. It's so cool having her there.
Yeah.
It's so cool having her in the league.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's just great to have her in the league. Indiana Fever won this series. Last time they won a playoff series was 2015, 10 years ago, under coach Stephanie White.
Wow.
Isn't that so fun? They've had Pokey Chapman, Marianne Stanley, and Christy Sides since then, and Carlos Knox, of course.
Yeah. Who could forget?
All right, the second round. Now we can really talk about the Fever Aces and Mercury and Lynx. I reckon let's touch on the Aces and Fever, because we did talk about them in quite length for their first round. I think for this series, Indiana got their win. I think that there's cause for concern for the Aces in that loss to the Fever, and then in that Game 2 loss against Seattle, where I just feel like they don't have that thing that champions have, and that the Liberty had last season, and that the Aces had the season before when they won the championship, which was just even if we don't score for 5 minutes, we are going to have at least a 2 or 3 minute stretch where you don't score.
Yeah.
And we're going to still look like this game is on our terms. Even if you guys are taking it away from us and you're going to have your run, we're still going to be... it's not going to look like, we're just letting you do this. Whereas in, game 2 of that first round and even, parts of that Indiana win in the second round, it just feels like there's just like this helplessness that hits the Aces for maybe 5 minutes at a time. And like, how are you going to win, especially a 7-game series?
Yeah.
If you're like, if you're, what's the word I'm looking for? If you're prone to doing that in a 7-game series, then surely that that doesn't track well.
I totally agree. Again, I'm really gassing up the fever here, but watching game 1, I was like, fuck, this actually might be the best case matchup for Indiana. Like they weirdly, especially with how the sort of style of play we were playing with in game 1, like Kelsey Mitchell and Alia Boston were so well suited for the way we're playing. Boston might be one of the only players who can kind of go with Asia. Like she's she's kind of bigger than her, but also isn't like can keep up with her movement. So it's quite a good defender against her. And then she's not getting buckets on her head, but like you don't mind her in the post against Asia. And then Kelsey Mitchell just rinsed our perimeter. It was absolutely insane in that first game. Just sprinting, like popping off screens. Anytime she got switched onto any of our bigs, she got a bucket. Or she got it to one of her bigs who got a bucket. And yeah, that we really didn't have an answer for her in that first game. That one of my things to note from game 2, things to watch, is Dana Evans put in the best shift. I wonder how many minutes. Let me check how many.
She had 19 minutes of the game.
19 minutes. Those 19 minutes were just absolutely phenomenal. And like she had she had 5 field goals made, and every single one of them was just like an absolute bucket. She's our only guard who can really run with Kelsey Mitchell as well. Chelsea Gray, obviously too old. Jackie Young's a very good defender, but she's a bit stiff. And yeah, like can get blown by smaller, faster players. And yeah, Jewel Lloyd, not really a strong suit. So yeah, I think it was really important to have sort of, when Mitchell would go on those little solo runs, to have, even if Dana's not like guarding her, to kind of have the same style of player you can put in on offense to just like break down the Fever's defense. So yeah, I think that's kind of, Asia Wilson is going to do what she's going to do. So's the rest of the stars on this team. But like, I think Dana Evans is like the first found money player we've had in a very, very long time. I think we got her for 2 second-round picks at the beginning of the year, and she's just like great backup point guard who offers a complete point of difference to Chelsea Gray.
I think so. Great season by the Fever. If they somehow win this series, and that's not me trying to put them down. They have 4 injuries.
Yeah.
I think credit to Stephanie White. She's still playing a deep bench.
Yeah.
I like that. She's going to. That's the wrong team. But Brianna Turner, who wasn't supposed to play, this many minutes. Shea Petty, who probably was in that 15-ish minute range. But then Ariel Powers, like she's getting 7 minutes. There's, she's going to Bree Hall and Michaela Thompson as well for little spurts. But it feels like Stephanie White has like a 5-year vision with this team, and she's starting it with or without, 3 of her players in this playoffs, and surely, Damiris Dantas will get some game time when she comes back from her concussion. But we're gonna run deep. We're gonna go, 9 deep when we're full strength. So we're gonna just start doing that now, so you guys know this is what to expect from like Indiana basketball. We're gonna have, everyone is empowered to make plays. And she's going to rely on everyone. And I just think that's such a good form of leadership. And we've seen that at other stops that she's had, most notably Connecticut.
Mm.
As for the Aces, I think there is... So, yeah, Alia Boston also... To respond to that, I love watching her play.
So good.
She's just awesome.
Yeah.
It's just awesome that the league just has another star. It's like she's done the
Yeah,
WNBA a favor. But yeah, for the Aces, you won that first game. Sorry, you lost that first game against Indiana. Nalissa Smith, 15 minutes, 4 points, wasn't really threatening to score.
Yeah.
When she went to the bench, it was a small that came on. Cheyenne Parker-Tyus had 5 minutes. Kia Stokes had 1 minute. Gustafson had 8 minutes. Game 2, Nalissa Smith, 30 minutes, 18 points.
Yeah.
Parker-Tyus 4, Stokes 4, Gustafson 7. I think it's a real cause for concern for the Aces. Not only do you kind of lose purpose in stretches, but if you get through to the next round and you come up against the Lynx or the Mercury, the Lynx is probably a better front court matchup for you, and they have Alana Smith and Nafisa Collier. Like the Mercury have Sabali, Thomas, and Bonner, and I guess Bonner isn't as much of a threat, but I just feel like weirdly she's that difficult sort of matchup.
Yeah.
For like 20 minutes a night to just go at Asia and just annoy her and just be a reliable 20 minutes that you don't really have in Smith or Parker-Tyus at this stage. And completely understandable, Parker-Tyus gave birth whatever it was, July 1, I think. But yeah, I think great season for the Fever, and yeah, I think the Aces, the cracks are starting to show. They had that just so formidable 16-game winning streak to finish the season, but in the playoffs, what are they? They're 3-2.
Yeah,
so far.
It's not great, and we haven't put 2 wins together. Yeah,
in a row.
Yeah,
true.
Yeah. Win, loss, win, loss, win.
Should we jump over to the other series?
Yes.
Or do you want to...
No,
okay.
Absolutely.
So the Lynx Mercury. This is an unbelievable series.
So good. Oh my God.
That first win by the Lynx was not the easiest thing ever, but it looked more manageable. That second win by the Mercury, I hate to say it, but I feel like the Lynx were the story again. Like, what did they were up
20.
Yeah.
20 points in the third quarter.
In the third quarter, yeah. They were up by heaps at halftime. They're up by 20 in the third quarter. And then, come on, man. They just fully the same thing that the Aces did against the Storm in that first round in their loss, which I feel like, to credit to the Lynx, I hadn't seen... Oh, no, actually, no. That game 2 against the Valkyries, they fell asleep. But, they still knew they were gonna win.
Yeah.
They still were like, okay, we're gonna make this work. That's kind of a good marker for how poorly those bad stretches are. If you can you can go through them and then still end up winning the game, then it kind of gives you, I don't know, it's kind of like, oh my God, we just proved to ourselves that we can do that. But then you can kind of, anyway. But yeah, This is going to be, I think, the series of the playoffs.
Yeah, for sure.
And so far, it has been.
Yeah. That it was so good. That first game was so competitive until kind of halfway through the third quarter. I was so impressed with the Mercury. Kind of just making it a game, and it didn't feel like the Lynx were in control necessarily. You still felt like, all right, the Lynx are going to win game 1 at home. And then, in that last quarter, the Mercury scored 2 points in the last 5 minutes. So I think they also just completely ran out of gas because they'd gone to a really tough game 3 against the Liberty. And the Lynx had an extra, 2-3 days rest. But then to kind of turn that around in game 2 and be like, actually, we're going to tap into this reserve of energy that you don't have and that you're not able to stop, was really, really impressive. And just man, when things are running through Alyssa Thomas and they're working, it's so much fun to watch. It's just unbelievable how open she gets her players and how she just finds them every single time. And you were talking about it in the first round, but that lineup of Copper, Thomas, Sabali, Whitcomb, Bonner is just like there's just nothing you can do about it. Sammy Whitcomb is 37 years old.
Sammy Whitcomb is unbelievable.
She's like, and she's in the fourth quarter of game 2. Like, obviously, so much is running through Alyssa Thomas, but she was carrying the ball up every single time.
Yeah.
Like, she's initiating, even if it's just dump it to Alyssa Thomas and, set a little off-ball screen somewhere. But she's starting the play every single time. And then, obviously, made that incredible shot over her over her Australian teammate Alana Smith to send it to OT. I loved the trust in the Mercury's offense that she like completely screwed the pooch on the first 3 attempts. Like I don't think it hit the rim. Like
I don't think so either.
Yeah, and then they were like, "No, we're gonna find her again.
Yeah,
like, we're gonna move the ball around until we find her for the shot."
Yeah.
And yeah, she obviously repaid them. The only thing I would say, I do want to talk about the Lynx in a little bit, but the only thing I would say about the Mercury is in that last quarter, I feel like the Lynx had a lot of good looks that didn't go in, and the Mercury had a lot of very tough looks that went in.
Yeah.
And that's like, that always puts up a little red flag for me that, okay, maybe that's not completely repeatable. They were really, really fighting for every basket, and the Lynx would, had a couple of open looks that they should have got.
Yeah. I think that's a good point. I think that that's kind of what the game had become, though.
Yeah.
And it had become like the Mercury in taking over the scoreboard in the third and fourth quarters. Oh, I guess the fourth quarter. There was something about the way they were playing that was kind of like, prove it. To the Lynx, prove you can beat us. We will keep hitting these tough shots. We have 5 players that we trust to hit these tough shots. You're going to have to prove to us that you can hang with us.
Yeah.
And it was I just think they positioned themselves really well. Like mentally, they just, I think that's what it was. It was a mental win.
It was a mental
AT
win.
was just jawing at Nafisa Collier. And she was like, and Nafisa Collier had a really strong game up until that fourth quarter in overtime.
Yeah.
And AT was just taking on the matchup, and she was loving it. And like, Collier was hot. It wasn't like she was having a bad game.
Yeah.
Thomas started talking shit when Collier was hot and Collier was having a good game, and then got her out of that. Can you believe that?
Yeah.
Like, AT shit talked a hot Collier.
Yeah.
The first or second best player in the world into having a bad game. And like, I feel like AT has, I feel like she has Stewie's number. I don't think she has Asia's number, but she makes things hard on Asia.
Yeah.
But I feel like she never really like just straight up beats Collier. I've seen Thomas just clean rip Collier, but I've seen Thomas clean rip everyone. But I've never seen her just like fully win the matchup. And it's crazy to say that about Collier, who scored 24 points in game 2. But that's what it felt like. That last shot by Sammy. I mean, more generally on Sammy and the team. She's come off the bench both games. She's come off the bench most of the season now. She's scored double figures in both of these games against the Lynx. And yeah, like, they really rely on her to create, and that isn't always the best idea for a basketball team, because when you take those other stars off ball, they kind of lose a bit of their value. But these players just thrive off ball.
Yeah.
Like Kalia Copper, who's now hitting threes, like hitting clutch threes. Satu Sabali went 5 of 11 from 3.
I don't know what you do about Satu Sabali.
Oh my God. Was it game 1 against the Liberty? She just laid an egg. Or the game that the Liberty beat the Mercury, she had a really poor game. But since then, she's just like, is fully kicked her into gear.
Yeah.
And I don't think she's had a bad game since.
Yeah, I think maybe that's also when I said, it looks like the Mercury are taking a lot of bad shots. She can take what looks like a bad shot, and she's actually just wide open.
Yeah.
She's got freakish proportions.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think she's like one of those, I think, she doesn't play like the kind of traditional bigs who've dominated, your Colliers, your Wilsons, your Stewies, your ATs who've dominated, your Jonquil Joneses. Like, she doesn't play like them at all, but she's turning into one of those kind of like unsolvable problems.
Yeah,
It's like,
true.
I don't know what you'd have to throw at her to stop her from getting the shot that she wants and making it. But you're right. A lot of that is because she thrives so much off ball. And when you've got Sammy Wickham and Alyssa Thomas, whipping the ball around, like they're going to find you in a good spot. So, she was so impressive in that game too. The Lynx, Courtney Williams is so good at basketball.
Yeah.
She's
getting better.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I feel like this is the first time we've done this podcast, but like, what do the Lynx need to do in game 3?
Yeah.
Looking forward, they just can't lose. They can't seize control of the pace of the game, and they can't just roll over. And it's just crazy to say that about this team after the way they've been building over the past few years, not just this season. But I feel like that's something they've learned. That's a lesson that they've learned over the past couple of years. And to go against that at this juncture, their most recent game, it's bad. I think that's a really bad sign that it's crept up on them. And I hope that I'm wrong, and I hope that they come out in game 3 and for the rest of the playoffs they just completely right that wrong. But like, to learn everything you've learned, to have last year's finals ripped away from you, to have, even going back to Sylvia Fowles and Nafisa Collier coming back into the team, Fowles retires, what are we? We learned, we actually are still a pretty good team. Going back all that way up until now, how are you, how is that not all playing a factor in being like, all right, we actually just have to give us a chance to win every game, and we'll probably win that game.
Yeah.
Like, if they just give themselves a chance to win, make it an analytical thing every game from here on out, I don't think another team, if they follow the same formula, I don't think any other team has a chance against the Lynx. So yeah, I just think you just can't get away from that confidence.
Yeah.
And I really hope that game 3 they come out and establish themselves early and just stay hungry, because I feel like that's what they've been until now.
Yeah.
But just stay hungry all game.
I think they've had the mental edge on the last, let's say, 100 WNBA games they've played.
Yeah.
All through last season, because, and then also in that season they had a bit of all right, everyone's written us off about them, and then this season, in the regular season, it was we're just not gonna lose, and even when we lose, it doesn't matter. And then they've had that all through the playoffs. I don't think the Valkyries had the mental edge on them in that game. I think they just caught them sleeping. But it was the last quarter of this game where it was oh no, the Mercury have completely mentally dominated you. And you're talking about Alyssa Thomas individually dominating Nafisa Collier, I think it was it was a team. It was a team-wide thing. And that's not who this team is. This team isn't mentally weak.
Yeah.
They will always be the better prepared, better focused, more confident team in whatever matchup they go into. I see the path to victory for the Mercury, but it would surprise me so much if the Lynx just don't. Yeah, there's no kind of tactical change. It's just getting their mental right.
Yeah. They got to seize this opportunity.
Yeah.
They've been building towards this for so long.
They have to win the championship.
Really. They have to, man.
Yeah.
I would love to see them in a 7-game series as well.
Yeah.
Man. So that's it. The playoffs are over.
Yeah.
Tomorrow we have 2 WNBA playoff games and the AFL Grand Final. I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Oh yeah, wow. Well, they're all lined up quite nicely.
That's true.
9:30 a.m., 11:30 a.m., 2:30 p.m. And there's a nice hour break there for you to welcome your guests into your house. Put some pies in the oven.
Yeah. Well said.
You're completely well set up. You got the dongle now.
Oh, true. Oh, it's just gonna be a big day in front of the projector.
Yeah.
The family projector.
Big day in front of the projector.
The NBA moves so quickly these days, it's hard to keep up. Shams and Woj are breaking stories left and right, but the Quick Time Out is right there with them to keep you informed on the latest NBA news. Stop in and let us break it down as it happens. Find the Quick Time Out on the Deep 2 Podcast Network.
Should we get on to
Should we do some awards for sure?
Yeah. Let's kind of run through these because we did go as we are very often do go way over on our first topic.
Of course.
But the WNBA also recently had their awards. Marco, do you want to run through them?
Absolutely. So, I mean, I'll just go through them in the order that they are on the Basketball Reference page.
Sure.
So MVP, Asia Wilson wins her 4th MVP trophy. I think one of 4 professional basketball players, man or woman, to do it. She polled first pretty clearly. She had 51 first ballot points. Also rounding out that top 5 was Nafisa Collier, Alyssa Thomas, Alicia Gray, and Kelsey Mitchell, who polled 93 votes, which I love that. I think Asia Wilson continues to be probably the best player in the world, most likely. And I think could have gone either way between her and Collier if it wasn't for just the dominance of the last 16 games of the season. And did Collier... Yeah, and Collier missed some games as well. She only played 33 games.
She plays 33 to Asia's 40.
Yeah.
I can see the Asia MVP. I would have cast my vote for Collier.
Mm-hmm.
I just think, and this goes against my thinking for the MVP vote. Usually, I'm actually every single MVP until this specific one. I've always just been like, you just have to give it to the best player that season.
Yeah.
But isn't it crazy, like, to come out of this last 3 years and Collier doesn't have one MVP, and like this year,
Didn't she win last year? No.
nah.
What the fuck? I totally had in my mind she'd won last year.
No, Collier is his 0-time
That's crazy.
MVP. Isn't
That's
that
wrong.
insane?
That's completely wrong. Yeah.
So I think the only kind of argument I can make for this season specifically is that Asia played well on the back end of the season, closer to when the voters vote. Her numbers were better for sure, but I just don't think that should be held against Collier for being like a stable force all season long. Mm-hmm. They went 34-10, like what a record. Led by Collier, and like beyond being just a tremendous basketball player, she really is the face of those wins.
Yeah.
She, Caitlin McBride gets hot. Williams and Heidemann, do their thing. Alana Smith, incredible defender, also pops off for the occasional hot shooting game. But Collier it starts with her.
Yep.
Every single one of those wins starts with her. She's always, even when those other players get hot, it's always still stop Collier first. And she beyond being a great scorer and playmaker, she knows how to be a deadly offensive player when she is the focus of the other team's defense, even if that's just dragging out the big or whatever, or forcing them to, double team her and then making that pass out that lets the Lynx then that eventuates in a good shot. To me, it doesn't seem right that in these last 3 years, Collier hasn't exited with one MVP. Yeah. But also in saying that, that's very Collier focused. Asia is just completely dominant.
Yeah. And all those things you said, true for her as well.
Yeah, yeah.
Every win starts and ends with her.
Yeah. And it is great that, adversely, it is great that Asia Wilson at age, she wouldn't be 30 yet.
She's 28.
At age 28 is already a 4-time MVP. Yeah. She is, speak of getting robbed, I feel like she's had a couple of MVPs taken away from her. She has just defined this era of basketball, this era of, being dominated by the fours, of which we've spoken a lot about this episode. Collier, Stewie, Satu Sabali, Alyssa Thomas, the list goes on. Yep. She has been at the forefront of that. There's been very few days where she hasn't been number one on that depth chart. And I think that extends back to before 2020. And it's just awesome. It's awesome to see this icon in the middle of her career have another great season.
Yeah.
I'm sure, WNBA fans will be exhausted of hearing Ryan Rocco say this on the call. But after that blowout against the Minnesota Lynx, Asia like just gave the team a hiding and like was like, Becky, don't worry, I've got it. And she was just telling them like, if you guys don't want to, if you guys aren't embarrassed by that game, then you're on the wrong team.
Yeah.
That's the quote that they just beat into the But it's such a good quote, and like, isn't that awesome that like since that moment she fully has just turned the season on its head.
Yeah, 100%. I don't really have anything to add to that. I completely forgot she was actually a unanimous MVP last season.
Yeah. Oh, also on the MVP voting, I couldn't get it up. I couldn't find the voting, but every player was in their most voted position. Like Asia had the most first place votes. Collier had the most second.
That ballot was in order, basically. Yeah. That's great. That's good.
And another thing, shout out to the W Basketball Show, starring Lukas and Marco. Do you know who also got a vote? Rikea Jackson. She's made her way onto the ballot. She is sowing the seed.
That's great.
Yeah.
Wow.
Shout out Rikea.
Love that. Good work, Rikea. All right. So moving on from MVP, Asia Wilson, 4 in 6 years, and she probably should have all 6 of them. Rookie of the year. There were only two players that polled votes this year. So from the 72 eligible voting journalists, 70 of them voted for Paige Beckers.
Who are the two?
Yeah. Maybe you can guess, because 2 of them voted for Sonia Citron. So maybe 2 Washington Post basketball beat reporters.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's insane. She should be unanimous.
How can you come out of that season? How can you come out of that season and if you have 1 vote, you're going to vote? What could the logic be?
It's like the one person who voted for Angel Reese of Caitlin Clark last season.
Oh, did that happen as well?
Yeah, probably the same person. It's the person who fucking, oh man, I don't know, man. There's some idiots. There's some idiots in every sports awards voting
true.
pool. Who vote for fucking, I don't know, some Azerbaijani guy to win the Ballon d'Or.
Yeah, right. Stick to the script.
So yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to say about this except, I mean, if any other rookie was going to get votes, maybe it would have been Citron. But yeah, that's stupid.
There's just no what is the only I don't know. She played all 44 games compared to Becca's 36.
Yeah.
That's dumb.
I don't know.
But that's a dumb thing that I just said.
Yeah, it's not like Washington made the playoffs. It's not like, she was responsible for more wins.
Nope.
Just on every metric, I would say
every single
that's
metric.
the wrong decision.
Yeah, Mystics 16 wins to the Wings 10. Again, dumb.
Yeah.
It's Rookie of the Year. We're not voting on MVP. That's crazy that Becca's... That's actually ridiculous.
Yeah.
Becca's nearly had 20 points a game in her rookie season.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Becca's only negative I can bring up is that wasn't unanimous and that you've been robbed of a unanimous award.
Yeah. Well, again, Caitlin Clark should be unanimous Rookie of the Year for 2024.
Yeah.
Considering she was 5th in MVP voting. But whatever. Defensive Player of the Year. Now, this went exactly how I wanted it to go.
Okay.
Co-Defensive Players of the Year, Alana Smith and Asia Wilson. I'm so happy that happened because that's exactly what I wanted to happen.
Isn't that so funny that they had the exact same amount of votes?
Yeah.
It wasn't like everyone got in a room and said, we can't decide.
Yeah.
They just had the same
It just
amount of
naturally coalesced into that result.
Yeah. Which I feel like actually is a really good result.
Yeah.
And of course, did you see Becky's comments afterwards?
No, what did she say?
It was actually this, you know what? This is the worst thing she's ever said. But it was just like, I can't remember what, it actually didn't make sense. I remember that was the thing as well. She was basically just talking about like, how can you have co-defensive player of the year? And then went on to whatever. And I was like, all right, Becky, relax, shut up. Like, why do you always have a problem? Like, unless like Asia wins the full suite of awards, Becky's going to have an issue.
Do you want me to read the quote from her? A white-tailed deer looks really good until an elk walks into the room. what are you doing, man? Like, shut up. What is it? Yeah. What's the quote about the phantom? A thingy look like a phantom until a phantom pulls up. That sounds so much better than whatever you just said.
Yeah. All right. Well, cool outcome.
Yeah.
Congratulations on the MVP and Defensive Player of the Year season, Asia, and then also Alana Smith on your first Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah, that's awesome because I think she's so instrumental to what the Lynx do. In this playoffs as well, she's just had so many highlight defensive plays already. So it's really awesome for her to get some recognition of that. And man, like, God, an Australian being Defensive Player of the Year, it's what we as a country dream of. No MVPs for us. We don't want them to be scoring points or knowing how to dribble or anything like that. We just want them blocking shots and getting steals.
Yeah. Just hopefully Lauren Jackson isn't listening.
We don't care about her multiple MVPs.
Did she have? I think Asia also became, speaking of Lauren Jackson, the second player. No. Wait, maybe she did become the second player to win MVP and Defensive Player of the Year, in multiple years.
Yeah.
Is that?
I reckon you're. Oh no, Lauren only has one Defensive Player of the Year.
LJ Laws.
Yeah.
Okay, well maybe Asia is, because I feel like Asia's won both before.
Oh yeah, absolutely, 100%.
She's done it.
She's a 3-time Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah,
and 2 of those have been
in MVP seasons.
In MVP seasons.
Yeah. Wow, she has a really good track record, this Asia character.
Yeah.
In the 2020s, she's had 1 year where she hasn't won either MVP or Defensive Player of the Year. And then Alana Smith, I feel like you said she's already had heaps of highlights on the defensive end these playoffs. I'm trying to think of a funny way to be like, but none against the Mercury. Because
she absolutely stuffed. It was Copper or Sabali. I can't remember who. She had a into the third row block.
Oh yeah.
Which is pretty nice.
Yeah, I also like that she does it with steals as well.
Yeah.
And like on the perimeter.
Yeah.
But God, that closeout on Whitcomb was just so bad.
Yeah.
Like you just have to hedge your bets there because there's 4 seconds on the clock. You're by yourself. You have to give up that first 3 because weirdly enough, there was less rhythm on the first one than like letting Sammy take a dribble and shoot that shot.
Yeah, she loves that. That's her preferred way to take a 3.
Yeah. But yes, congratulations to you two.
Other players that polled: Gabby Williams, Alyssa Thomas, and Nafisa Collier. I mean, I think that's pretty nice for them. 6th Woman of the Year award, won by Naz Hillman of the Atlanta Dream. I think, I'm into that.
Yeah. I think only argument you could kind of make against is that she had a lot of, like, her numbers got raised by her play when she was a starter.
Yeah.
But also I'm very happy with that. Congratulations. Awesome to see. Is most improved player next?
Yes.
Well, do you want to name who that was?
That was, again, with 68 of the 72 votes, almost unanimous, Veronica Burton, the Golden State Valkyries.
Well, I didn't realize it was that many votes.
Yeah.
Because I feel like at the end of the season, someone else was getting a lot of... Alicia Gray was getting a lot of the conversation.
Yeah.
But no, this is awesome. Awesome for the WNBL.
Yeah.
It's always been a great league. I think having such like relevant... having such recent success.
Yeah.
And success that's eventuated in awards. I think that, awards aren't everything, especially on the WNBA level, but for those other leagues around the world, they kind of are.
Yeah.
It kind of is like, awards like Most Improved and 6th Player of the Year, especially with the way Naz Hillman won it, there was this like positive upward trend and trajectory for both of these players this season. And I just think it's a really good thing for the Australian League as like and I also like that the WNBL approaches it. The WNBL teams know that the WNBA is the best league in the world.
Yeah.
And they love the idea of being able to usher a talent along their way and like work on a few parts of their game so that they can, make a tilt at the WNBA and, succeed that next season and like fulfill that, because they're not. everyone knows that we're trying to make the WNBA. We're not like
yeah.
we're not living under this this idea that isn't the crown jewel.
No.
So I think that's awesome. It's also awesome for Southside and Bendigo, because Christy Harrower, Southside's current coach, she has been credited with being a really good developmental coach, and now seeing that for Hillman in a WNBA award is great. And then the Spirit, like the headline of Isabel Borlase going to the Spirit was that like she wanted to make it to the WNBA. So like they take these things head on. Southside didn't have a strong season last year, but both teams have just been historically really good, and they take those things head on. And not only do they succeed with those players, but they also win WNBL games.
Yeah. And like Hillman and Burton are both 25. Pretty almost identical trajectory, really. So like finish college, get drafted to the WNBA, struggle to, get minutes, find a place for yourself, go to the WNBL, not only like impress there, but actually improve your game, and then come to the WNBA and just immediately be like really important part. I mean, yeah, Veronica Burton, the most important player for the Valkyries.
Yeah, legit.
Naz Hillman, a really important player on the 3rd seed. So yeah, I think that's also like, maybe the current strength of the way women's club basketball is, where you do have to. I mean, you don't have to, but like you do end up playing 2 full seasons in different leagues, where like. If they're playing an 82 game WNBA season and Naz Hillman isn't, impressing or improving, like it can be hard for you to kind of jumpstart your career after that.
Yeah.
If you can go somewhere where that, like, not only will, you immediately be, I guess, a better player comparatively, but the level's actually really good. Like the level of competition in the WNBL is so good, and it's taken so seriously.
Yeah.
And it's not like, I have to go play in this bum league because I'm not good enough for the best league. It's like, no, this is like one of the better leagues in the world. It's a league where lots of good players play. It's a league where lots of good players develop. So like, come here and you will get better. So, and it's great. Like, I think that age 25 in basketball, for men and women, it can be like, oh, well, you haven't made it?
Yeah.
And like, well, shit, your career might be over. So I'm 25 years old.
Yeah.
Like, there should be, like, I can get better. Like, and I will get better. So yeah, I think it's really, great that trajectory exists. Just for women's basketball more generally, but for the WNBA as well.
Yeah. I think it is such a juncture, and yeah, you're right. It is such a young age still, especially like at 25. If you're going to be a good player, you probably have 13 more years.
Yeah.
And you've probably been in a professional league for 4 years.
Yeah.
That's still the majority of your career. But yes, to have those avenues in other leagues where, and like you speak to players, and each league is different. Like each league, each country, each European country. Some of these European countries border, and it's a completely different style of basketball.
Yeah.
And the fact that maybe you just need to be exposed to that different type so you can switch your thinking a bit and be like, oh shit, if they're doing it like this and this, then why don't I do it like this and that? Or like, oh, I didn't realize that this is actually a massive strength of mine. And it's also really good for us as viewers and like WNBL fans. Because
that's awesome.
Because not only do we get to see amazing players, but it isn't crazy for us to be like, well, maybe Megan McConnell will win Most Improved Player next year.
Yeah.
And like, that isn't out of the realm of possibility. Like, we're looking at potential WNBA champions leading WNBL teams. And what's amazing about the Veronica Burton thing is that she came in, she's the Most Improved Player in the WNBA, and she wasn't even the best player on her WNBL team. No. That player is still alive. That player is still being relied upon to potentially make the WNBA finals.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just so good for us.
Yeah. The Sportsmanship Award. No, I'm not going to read that. Won by Nyeka Ogwumike. Congratulations. So last award, Coach of the Year. Taken out quite comfortably by Natalie Nakasi. 53 of the 72 votes. Carl Smesko got 15 of the 72, and then 2 apiece for Becky Hammond and Cheryl Reeve. Beat reporters. I mean, there's no way you can't give it to Nakasi, I think.
Yeah.
Like, that's just it's like so much of their success was on their coaching, on like, oh god, just having like, did they have the most injured roster in the league as well? Like so many players missed time.
Yeah.
And yeah, should just keep throwing out new lineups, keep playing the basketball the way she wanted to, especially in the second half of the season when they really developed their play style a lot more. So yeah, like that's a no-brainer for me.
That the other team that comes to mind for most injured is the Indiana Fever.
Oh, yeah.
But isn't it just such a good sign for both Nakase and White? And isn't it kind of like it kind of raises the bar for the rest of the coaches in the league, because it's like, actually the system is the system should be bigger than the players, and like players should be able to play multiple roles within your system, because we've just both of those teams have adapted. Nakase, I think a huge thing for her as well is like it was such an unexpected coming into the league this season. And I think usually we just look at teams where teams are at the end of the season. For Coach of the Year, we probably look where teams are from last year to this year, but with the Valkyries, we kind of look at the roster more and break the individual players on the roster down more, and see where they were at game 40 last season compared to game 44 this season. It feels like a lot of, even though it seems like a no-brainer, it still feels like it's a no-brainer because a lot of thought goes into that, like breaking down the roster. And then also it was evident all season long that this team was like every time we've spoken about the Valkyries, we've talked about how they have an identifiable brand of basketball, and that comes back to Nakase. Like that, it's so cool. It's so cool that the Valkyries have taken away 2 of the awards, and really, really earned them.
Yes, like quite clearly that's who they belong to. Cool.
Should we tip on the finals? Should we give our finals tips?
Okay.
I think I'm not going to break any ground here. I reckon the first and second finishing teams will make the finals in the Minnesota Lynx and the Las Vegas Aces.
I'm gonna say the same. I reckon. I think you have to say Aces in 4.
Against the Fever.
Yeah. And I want to say Lynx in 5.
Yeah.
I think that this series just has so much juice in it. But like it'll be like a comfortable game 5 for the Lynx.
Well, I was going to say it's either Lynx in 4 or Mercury in 5.
Yeah, right. Wow.
Because I'm just thinking of a game 5. If game 2 looked like game 2 looked, then if you're going into game 5 with Alyssa Thomas, Satu Saba, Kalia Copper, damn, that would be an elite game.
Yeah, but the Lynx, they'll have to get the mental edge back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, here's hoping.
And then finals, winner. The winner takes it all.
I feel like the Lynx would quite comfortably take care of the Aces. I'd say that's 5 games.
5 games.
Yeah.
A gentlewoman's, a lady's sweep. I'm gonna say Lynx in 6.
Okay.
For the finals, which I know you hate people saying.
That's all right. Hey, it's the first time.
It's the first time. You get one gimme.
All right. Goodbye, everyone. And
Thanks.
I'm sure maybe we'll speak to you guys again before the end of the playoffs.
I think that would be good, or at the end of the playoffs.
Oh yes, but not. Okay, bye.
Bye.